Okay, you're switching it, Jack?
Yeah, we are
How many
should be live now.
how many people do we have?
Yeah.
Greetings, welcome. This is David Siegel. I'm broadcasting live from our studios in Bern, Switzerland from the Pillar Project. Today is Thursday, August 31st, and we're all getting ready to move to London to begin work on the Pillar Project. Welcome. I just wanted to have a few of our Pillar people here on the screen with me today. This is going to be about a 30-minute update on the Pillar Project, followed by questions. We've received some questions by email, and we'll take a few questions from YouTube as well. So thank you for joining us. How many people are on right now, Jacek?
Give me a second. I will update you.
Okay, 5,280. Wow, that's amazing. That's the same number as there are feet in a mile. That's incredible that we got that number.
40 on
So,
YouTube.
all right. So, let me give you a quick update on the project. We had a fantastic event in Poprad, Slovakia, where about uh, 60 people, I think, maybe came. Even a few people just dropped in at the last minute. It was really powerful. And we did that on purpose to make it difficult to get to. And a lot of really key people showed up. And we've now hired several of them. Several are volunteering, and a couple are now on staff. And we've kind of put most of our volunteers who were the core team of the of the ICO campaign on staff, and now we're gearing up to move to London. I am personally going to arrive in London on Tuesday, on Saturday, so in a couple of days, and we'll be there to set up, to get our offices, and to get the Pillar Project rolling. By the way, it is already rolling, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I want to get to the token, people who care about the tokens. First of all,
One moment, David. We have traditional report on very low sound, so give us a minute.
so we're going to take a break now for a second because we have a
Just
sound quality
the
problem.
sound and we're back.
Okay, we have a sound quality problem, and we will wait for a technical fix.
Ralph, are you on it?
Yeah, I'm
Ralph?
looking right now, Jessica. What is the problem exactly?
It's very it's too low. People can't hear.
Okay, I can boost it. Hang on.
On my side, it seems it is even frozen.
Frozen.
No, on my side it's okay.
We are addressing technical problems and want to get sound up so people can hear me and us. We have Vitor live from Rio de Janeiro. We have Partha live from Chennai, India. We heard about Partha a bit in the last newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, be sure to go to pillarproject.io and sign up for the newsletter. How's my sound
Okay.
now?
We have a report that sound is better.
Sound is
We
improving,
can continue.
or we can continue. All right. So I want to talk to token holders because I know token holders are very eager to find out what's going on with all the token issues. So first of all, you know, a lot of people buying tokens these days see it as a pretty short term. They have a fairly short window of investment horizon for tokens, and they're looking for a great pop, and then maybe they move on to the next token. That's obviously not us. That's not our project. We're not one of the really popular ones that the Chinese whales bought. We were bought. Our token was bought by 9,000 plus people who are just really wanted to support this project and this dream, and are really excited about what we're doing. It's a long-term investment. So for starters, we've already seen about a 2x, about a doubling in value of the token on a dollar basis. On a pound or euro basis, it's doubled in value. Of course, most other tokens have done so because they are priced in Ether, and Ether has doubled. But think about it, our token has a pretty good chance, and I'm not giving any forward guidance here, but our token, if we realize this it certainly could be up 10 times in the next 2 years. Now, for Ether to do that, Ether would have to be at about $4,000 over the next 2 years. Those both could possibly happen, but I would say that if we can achieve the results we want to achieve over the next couple of years, so don't think of this as we need to have results out in the next 3 months, I think you're going to be pretty happy with your investment. So we don't really listen too much to eager beavers who want us to push the price of the token or do a lot of rushing around to deliver on some kind of schedule that we never published. We're trying to do it right. We're trying to do it in a very agile way with continuous delivery and continuous improvement. And we're not set up yet. Most of us have spent the last several weeks kind of recovering and getting ready to move to London. I've had to get my kids in school here in Switzerland, get a place to rent, and get ready to be able to leave my duties behind here in Switzerland and really spend full time in London, which I will be doing next week. We have about 15 visas to get. It's pretty complex, so we've got lawyers helping us with the visa process. We've just started a company in London, and we are setting up bank accounts and just trying to get back-end people. I'm going to talk a little bit later about the kind of people we want to hire. We're looking at real estate. We're looking at offices to rent, possibly to buy. We happen to like Shoreditch area, East London. We don't know. We're going to let you know as we make decisions and start to put roots down in London. But I want the token holders to be patient with us and understand we don't have a set schedule. We have committed to shipping a wallet in Q1 next year. It will not have many tokens and cryptocurrencies. It will probably have one token and one cryptocurrency. We'll see. We're going to let you know and keep you up to date. And I've got more to talk about that in a minute. Everyone wants to know about exchanges. And what you need to know about exchanges is that if you watch the exchanges, you're not seeing a lot of new tokens come on the big exchanges. The big exchanges are really going very carefully now, listing new tokens. Anything to do with US law or even Chinese law is pretty scary for the exchanges right now. They have licenses. They don't want to lose them. We have been talking with the largest exchanges since before the ICO started. We have been in discussion. We're not allowed to talk about these discussions. We can't make anything public about what's going on with exchanges. We are even more eager to get the Pillar token on a great exchange than you are, because it makes a difference to the entire community, not just individuals. And we are working hard on it at their pace, according to what their demands are and what they think and their legal departments think that they should do next. All tokens are stuck in a pretty serious holding pattern getting on large exchanges. We are too. If for some reason it doesn't work to get on a large exchange, we'll be working our way down and finding other exchanges to get on. Thank you for all the suggestions. We're pretty aware of the top 20 exchanges, and we're working on it very hard, even though it doesn't look to you like you're seeing any progress. It's a lot about lawyers now, and we are doing the best we can. We thank you and appreciate your patience on that. Now, just to put things in perspective, our goal, long-term goal, is to create the personal digital assistant that powers your phone, your whatever devices we don't even know exist, and your digital life. And so we really are the underdogs. If we have $40 million worth of Ether, that's nothing compared to the big guys and the app stores and the phone manufacturers, the OEMs, and all the big players that we're going up against. And we've got some pretty radical ideas. And that's why you gave us your money. But I got to tell you, we're a very lean startup. We're coming together to build the core wallet, as I'll describe in a minute, and a community of developers. But we have a long road, and we don't have anywhere near enough money to make it to where we want to go, which is fine. We understand. We have plenty of money to get off to a good start and build a strong community, and that's what we're all about. Just in the same way that the Ethereum community is, maybe a couple, 2-3% is actually the Ethereum Foundation and its activities. 95, 97, 98% of it is what everybody else does. And there will be, we hope, lots of for-profit opportunities for people to jump in and start building on our ecosystem, and even to help us build our core product and our ecosystem and all our frameworks themselves. And that's, you know, I keep saying to people, how about, and I'm not doing this, but it's just an exercise. You know, what if we didn't write a line of code? What if all we did was put together frameworks and community and communication and help people coordinate to build our product? That wouldn't be too different from what we have to do, which of course we will do, and that's build the core product. But the core product will be a little kernel that much will be built on. And that's really important for us to get that process and that community started. I'm going to tell you a bit more about that in a minute. We have 5 products at Pillar right now, and I want to give you a quick overview of what those are. We will build the core wallet. We have very exciting news that Vitor here, our CTO, who we love and adore and has been part of this for many months, since before it was Pillar. You know, we initially said, okay, we support you, Vitor. You're going to be living in Rio. We understand that. So we'll put a team around you and you build the back wallet, the back end team in Rio. But with a little bit of pressure and an umbrella, we convinced Vitor to move to London. And we're really excited about that. He and his main guy, Raphael, will be moving to London, but not until the end of the school year. For his little boy, and he's got a lot to plan to move to London. We've got to do all the visas, so he'll be coming at the beginning of next year. And in the meantime, he'll be in town. We're going to have some events I want to talk to you about, and he'll be spending a lot of he'll be full-time on Pillar pretty soon. He's leaving his job at IBM. So we really welcome everyone to come to London and be with us in the same room. We don't have any intention of having people work full-time outside of London. I believe that when you're innovating, it just helps so much to share a lot of information, share meals, really build a family culture, and all be together working on the same thing. So the core wallet is our first product. The second, and we're starting very small. You know, we're just going to have a simple little wallet that you can move Ether in, you can move Ether out, and make that work. We've got a little scenario. You can read about it at our sort of minimum viable wallet at pillarproject.io/contests. You can see the requirements for that. And then on top of that, we're going to try to deliver a wallet every week. And we'll probably fail at that for the first couple of weeks, but our goal is to develop the muscles to ship a wallet every week. And then periodically, we'll get test wallets out to our alpha and beta testers. And then, I don't know, once a quarter, once every 6 months or so, we will get a release out to the world and people can update their wallet and try all the new features. So it's going to be very market driven, and it's going to be one feature at a time, one wallet at a time, and you know, one alpha and beta test at a time as we get feedback from the market and continue to develop our core product. Second product, the OEM wallet. And please send us email, or actually tell us in our new community. I'm going to announce in a minute if you have a better name for this. So I call it the OEM wallet because the idea is that this wallet replaces accounts. So if you have just a example, a company like LinkedIn, or I don't know, a dating site, or a financial or insurance company, you have people have accounts. They log in, and they have their personal data and their information and their settings, and they can do everything on their little dashboard. But what they really do is they interact through the rest of the system using APIs. So our goal is to extract that account and put that into the wallet. So you can have all your accounts in one place, and they'll be in your wallet. And by the way, if you have methods of payment and your address and your birth date and your personal data, that's all just doesn't get duplicated anymore. That stays in one place on your wallet, and when you update your address, it automatically updates everywhere. So the goal is to talk to large companies or companies that have accounts now and get them to switch. Get them to switch to using a wallet rather than accounts, and that relieves them of the account liability. So the user has full control of the user's data. And that's really exciting, especially in light of the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulations, coming on May 25th next year, 2018. At the end of May, all companies that have user accounts and personal data will have to comply with a long list of requirements that are sort of the user's Bill of Rights, coming from the European Union, and many other countries are following suit. I expect the United States at some point will have something similar, and it involves a lot of detailed things you have to do to change your system of accounts over to be compliant. And the cool thing about what we're building is it replaces that. It's GDPR compliant from the beginning. So we want to start getting the word out about our wallet now, that our wallet can replace accounts. And it's a lot about messaging. It's a lot about convincing people who are looking at this GDPR problem. Okay, what do we do? Should we add some more software and more cloud security and change? Or, which is what they're doing, considering now that's what all the
guys, wait a second. I see red and orange switching on OBS. I don't know if everything is going good. I see a lot of frames dropping.
No complaints from everybody. I think
looking okay. We're doing a sound check, everybody. So
because yeah, I see extremely low network speed and a lot of frames dropping.
Yeah,
shall I continue?
Hang on a second.
Oh, hold on. That's
waiting to hear
the
from
video is
on YouTube now.
On my side as well.
Hey, YouTube people, do you hear me okay or not? Let us know if you see any video or sound quality problems.
Yeah, the video is frozen for a second. Please don't end the stream, Ralph.
Don't end the stream.
No, I'm not ending it. It seems to be picking up speed again.
Are we back?
It looks like we're back, yeah.
I think it should
Can
be
I continue?
back now. It's green again.
All right, let me continue. So listen, we sent out a questionnaire to our newsletter recipients, about a month ago or so. I think it might have been just before Slovakia. And we asked people to rank their data concerns, okay? And the number one most important thing people said, most important concern, is data security. The number two is, and there was a tie for number two, who owns my data, and data privacy. And this is what our wallet addresses, and it can address those problems for companies that have accounts well, not right now, but by the beginning of the year, we ought to have a system that can provide a wallet to companies looking for a better solution to the GDPR, the data protection problem, data privacy problem. And we want you to help us, and we want them to help us build that solution. We're not going to just build it and then market it. We're open source. We want people to help us with that. So I'm going to announce in a few minutes how we're going to do that. I'm going to continue with my list now. The third product is what we call semantic search. So if you're looking for something, all of the offers come into you. I'm not going to spend much time on that. I've talked about it in other videos. You can see on pillarproject.io/summary. There's a 8-minute video there on that. The fourth product is the Pillar token itself. And if you're listening to me and you can think of ways that the Pillar token can be used in other systems, we're really open to that. It's an open source project, and we want the Pillar token to be a meta token. You don't have to have an ICO. If you need a handy token to power your system, we have one, and people can buy it right now and go use it in your system. So the Pillar token itself is a product. And the fifth product, which we didn't talk about much before, is the Pillar the Pillar Blockchain Explorer. And there are a lot of blockchain explorers out there, and you've probably had some experience with them. They are suboptimal. We've had a questionnaire go out to people and got more than 500 responses back. What's your story? What did you like and not like about your experience with Blockchain Explorers? And our goal is to integrate the Blockchain Explorer with our whole project. So eventually, the wallet and the Blockchain Explorer are one. The Explorer will actually integrate into the wallet at some point, we hope. And so we're going to design our own Blockchain Explorer from scratch. And we'll make it a resource available to the community. It'll be a multi-blockchain Explorer. We're really excited about it. It's a huge project. And we hope that we become that becomes the de facto, everybody uses it, Blockchain Explorer, because there are so many problems with today's Blockchain Explorers and so many limitations. So keep an eye out for that, because we've got a team on our new community for each of these projects, and we want products and we want you to contribute. So that brings up the community. I'm glad you asked. Our community is now open after actually hundreds of hours of tireless work by the people you see on the screen and others at the Pillar Project. We finally have a community, and it's called Mattermost. It's an open source software. We're getting rid of Slack. And we've got it hosted on our servers. We've got the memory dialed up, and we're ready for you. So please come to pillarproject.io/community, and you'll see instructions to join our community and jump in and be part of it. There's a particular place I want you to pay attention to, and that's the volunteer team. It's in different teams. I think we have 7 different public teams you can join. And the volunteer team is for doing what needs to be done. It's the place we look to hire people, and I'll be talking about hiring in a minute. So if you want to be part of it and you can help, you might even be able to get your company to pay you, or find other sources of revenue to pay you to help us. And just jumping in and building stuff is going to look good on your resume and get you that much closer to the core team and to being part of it. So the community is something you can sign up for. You'll get a registration by email, and then you'll reply to it. And I really encourage people to use your first name dot last name to be in this community. We already have how many people? 400 people signed up or so. And making up a fantasy name is cute. Is cute to make up a cute little name, but it just doesn't let us communicate with you and understand who you are and refer to you very well. We can't keep track of all those names. So please, first name dot last name, and we'll see you in our community, and especially in the volunteer team. That's where I'll be spending a lot of my time. Now, I want to talk about events a little bit, and hiring, yes, and then our grant program. So hiring kind of comes next. We are very eager to find more people for London, and we are now about 15 people coming in getting visas. So we really appreciate people in the UK who already have work permits or are citizens or residents to come work with us. And as you know, we don't interview, we don't care what you've done, and we don't look at resumes. We think that that is a poor way to hire people. We ask for people to volunteer. We are not exploiting people. We ask people to volunteer who can volunteer, who have the passion and time to do it. We're not asking people to put anything at risk. Do what you can. But as we start looking for people in the community to hire in London, we look to the community to see who's working well with us already. Now, what are the positions? We don't really have positions. We have enthusiastic pillaristas who just really live and breathe our mission and love what we're doing and want to be part of our family. And they're generalists. But usually some people have some specific skills that are really useful and kind of round out. We're kind of looking to round out our skills and round out our community. So more diversity, right? More different kinds of people. I won't say exactly which different kinds of people, but just by looking at our faces, you can see that, that we have a need for different kinds of people in our team. And we certainly are looking for people for back office. And when I say back office, I want people who have bookkeeping and accounting experience, but not bookkeepers and accountants, because our goal is to build systems that scale. So people who can think about how we can automate our back office and make all of our HR and payroll and accounting and bookkeeping and reporting functions all automatic as much as possible. And that's what we want to do both at Pillar Project and at 2030. So we're looking for smart people who can come in and kind of do the legwork that needs to be done at the beginning to get everything set up, and also to go beyond that and put ourselves all out of a job and find ways to automate it. We will never have an HR department. The minute you get an HR department in a startup, that's the day your company starts to fossilize and rot. Sorry, so we will never have an HR department, but and maybe it works well for other companies, but it doesn't work for us. We don't work with recruiters, and we don't interview people. We just have enthusiastic people who want to be part of our project and do whatever needs to be done. So we call it central services. We're hiring for central services right now. That means we're looking for volunteers to jump in and help us set up all these back office things, work with us on events, messaging, websites, social media. All these things need to be done, especially though the accounting, the CRM, the systems, the tax, the reporting, all these sort of basic block and tackling that usually happens in a back office. But you're part of the central services team. You're not going to be pigeonholed into just doing numbers all day, spreadsheet. So we're also looking for back-end people. And just in case there are specific skills, I'm going to let Vitor talk a little bit about the back-end team, a bit about methodology, and the kind of people who he would love to work with as volunteers that we can hire from.
Sure. Right now, our main needs are people who are aware of JavaScript, ActionScript, ES5.
JavaScript?
Yeah, ES5 and ES6. People who understand Node and using JavaScript in the backend and the front end. And that's a polyvalent role that helps us a lot in both developing the backend and the front end. So people well-handled JavaScript coders that have that really could come in handy, and Go people for other backend stuff and backend automation. People have general knowledge of infrastructure and automation and how to make a good production environment work. That's what we can do. And if you're just starting out but you're talented and interested, we can help you get up to speed. So please come and collaborate with us.
Right on, cool. And what about testing and what do you call it? What do you call the process where you're kind of moving from development into production and like toward beta release?
Really? Okay.
That kind of thing.
We can use people in a lot of roles right now. You use QA people, you could use testing people. I have a lot of users volunteering to test the wallet, but people experience with tests, people experience in setting automated tests.
Yeah, unit tests.
You're welcome.
Right. So we'll have a back-end team in London, and I expect it will be about a dozen people on the back end, and that's not JavaScript. And on the front end with design and scripting, I imagine that'll be about 4 or 5 people. Because we have these different products and because we expect companies and OEM customers to want us to do various things for them, that could grow because we may end up doing consulting. By the way, anyone listening can set up consulting. It's open source. So if you want to carve out your niche for how you're going to be part of our ecosystem, you're welcome to get it started right away. In fact, I've spoken with a few people who think that's great. They want to help corporate clients start to integrate our wallet as soon as it's ready or even before, because they can see the benefit of it, and there's no reason they can't just jump in and start helping us code it right now. So to take that next step, we're announcing something that we'll work on called Wallet Lab. What is Wallet Lab? Wallet Lab is going to be a website and an open community. We'll probably set up a separate community for that, where people can collaborate on building wallets of all kinds. So we'll kind of think of it as a framework for building our core wallet collaboratively. So if people from anywhere want to work on that, it's open source, they're welcome to. Same way that people have collaborated working on the Bitcoin core and on Ethereum as well. Magically, amazing people usually show up when it's important and it's open source. And we'd love those people to show up. Companies can pay those people to show up, and we'll build this core product together. But then we want it to just fork all the time. So we want people to be building little things around it and trying experiments so that they can just take whatever the release code is that week and start to add whatever their thing is onto it. So if you wanted to, you know, open your garage door, start your car, you know, do some visual recognition of something, or to, you know, have some event-driven thing happen with your wallet, or to buy something, or to, you know, any of the other scenarios we've spoken about, you can just start hacking away, you know, tinkering, and see what you can do. And by the way, if that kind of turns into something and it works, well, you can merge that stuff back with the core as it's marching along the center, and we may end up with different cores. We may end up with different forks. You know, we're just really open to collaborating with people so that this wallet lab turns into a bunch of activity. For example, it may diverge for a while, but then we can try to bring it back together. Right? It doesn't have to be hard forks all over the place, but the goal is to let people sort of pull it in different and stretch, you know, the surface of our, you know, activity in different directions according to what they want. We want you to shape it with your own activity. So if you want to collaborate with us on Wallet Lab, it's totally open, and we have a team that, Partha, I don't know if you renamed it yet, but we've got a team in Mattermost called Wallet, and I think we're going to rename it Wallet Lab.
It's done now, David.
It's done. Great. Okay, so Wallet Lab is a team at community.pillar.io. Once you're registered, you'll see it. You can add yourself to the team. And that's where we're generating the germ of Wallet Lab. And remember, a big part of Wallet Lab is GDPR Wallet Lab for data privacy. And there's lots of activity going on here, lots of budgeted projects, and lots of budgets still to be allocated. So people hearing my voice right now, if you know about GDPR projects, teams, budgets that are interested in new and better solutions for GDPR, please come and collaborate with us, because we're going to be building a pretty big website and a community just for experimenting with wallets. And we'll also have front-end experiments and design experiments. And how do you hook up a wallet to a chat bot, for example? How does the wallet work in a browser? How will the APIs work? What APIs do we need? Who can help us with that? This is all the stuff we want to do collaboratively as a community, and we'll be contributing a lot too. You know, we will have a core team, but we hope that our core team is soon outnumbered by the enthusiastic programmers wanting to hack away and try things. And we'll have hackathons. We want to have, so that brings me to events. I'm sure there'll be questions about this. And you know, I don't know all the answers to Wallet Lab. It's an idea we've had recently. We got the URL, so we'll be just talking about it in the team and working on it with you, helping to develop Wallet Lab. Brings us to events. we're going to have several events coming up, and I'll just talk about them kind of in linear order, so on chronological order. So I'll let Michael talk about our pillar event for next week in London.
Hi there. Next week, for those of you that are in London, we do have a meetup event organized in Shoreditch, Barrio Shoreditch, 141 Shoreditch High Street. You can meet us, most of us, some of us in here, and quite a lot of the community. Already there are quite a lot of people that have signed up to go, and please come there. It is a nice place. It is a Brazilian themed bar, and hopefully they have dedicated a room for us, and we can network with each other, and they even offer to put the volume down where we are at. And there are quite a lot of rooms in there. I know Vito would have loved to be here,
You've picked
I think that's the first event.
For the meetup, I'm not going.
That's okay. That's okay because you can organize a meetup in Brazil.
Make sure you RSPV to the meetup. Go to meetup and RSPV there, so we know you're coming, and we can see and propagate this information even further.
Let me give the details again. This is Thursday, September 7th in London at 6 p.m. Thursday next week at the Barrios Shoreditch. That's 141 Shoreditch High Street. And I encourage you to register at meetup.com and look for Pillar Project. Now, what if you don't live in London? Great. Go to meetup.com and start your own Pillar group for your city and start having meetups and make videos of those meetups. And we're also going to work on a video repository so we can have people just dump videos on us, and we'll try to get them out on YouTube and elsewhere. So please start with meetups, Pillar meetups around the world. And please come next week. Most of us will be there, and we're really looking forward to meeting you then. We're going to have a Wallet Lab conversation video meeting where we can meet people who have just like jumping up and down about the Wallet Lab idea right now. I hope a few people are. You can say something in the comments if you want, like, this is exciting. I'm all excited about Wallet Lab. We're going to talk about Wallet Lab on Zoom, which is the tool we're using now, and we're going to get the Zoom coordinates out, the URL out through our newsletter, probably Monday morning, maybe before. That's going to be on Monday. That's Monday next week, Monday, September, what is that, 5th? I think, 2nd, 3rd, 4th? Monday, September 4th. Wallet Lab meeting online, and it's going to be 8 p.m. Central European time. That will be 7 p.m. UK time, just to be clear. 7 p.m. UK time. That will be 2 p.m. East Coast time in the United States and 11 in the morning on the West Coast. That's Monday, and you'll get the URL through the Pillar Project newsletter. We also expect to have a physical Wallet Lab, maybe an even day-long event or afternoon in London sometime soon. You're going to help us figure out when and where by jumping into the community and talking with us and helping volunteer to arrange that. We're looking toward about the 3rd or maybe 4th week in September for that. We think that Vitor will be able to come for that. We're also going to be talking a lot about architecture and hiring and shipping wallets. So it's going to be a lot about what do we need to do to start shipping wallets. And I hope we're actually starting to ship some early wallets before then. So we're not doing nothing between now and then. That's going to be Wallet Lab, and we'll also talk a lot about GDPR. In fact, we will have some GDPR specialists at this event. So please help us plan it and execute it. And it'll just be a big kind of an unconference. Now it might be a full day about Wallet Lab and GDPR. Then I'm not giving too much away right here, right now, but come into our community and you'll find out about our plans for our first ever developer conference, which will take place next March or April in a pretty inconvenient locations where we plan a lot of really exciting activities and engage with the local community there, nowhere near London. And you are welcome to come to our community and help us really create that event. We've got some people excited about it. It's going to be kind of the PopRad 2, Slovakia 2 event, and it will be our Worldwide Developer Conference coming up in March or April next year. I want to...
David, just one question. Will it have a stadium?
Yeah, we're going to need a stadium for that. Yeah, they're actually building it right now. It's going to be a bigger one than they've got right now. So I'm going to take questions in a minute. I want to mention our grant program. So we reserved a number of tokens to give to our people who helped with the ICO. Many of you know that we financed the ICO entirely through future tokens. Most of those tokens are locked up for 9 months. And many of the people on on the screen and who helped in our, and you've seen them in PopRed, you've seen them in previous videos, have been allocated tokens. And we're going to do something interesting. We've got enough tokens going to those people that they're going to be pretty happy about that. And we've asked anybody who's got tokens to consider giving some of those tokens back to our community to create a grant program for researchers, for programmers, for people in places in the developing world, for particular things we want to reach out and try to do that are kind of above and beyond and out of the scope of normal pillar development. And we want people to apply for grants. We'll have enough tokens, I think, that those, when they're live and trading in about 7 months, we'll be able to afford people to pay their rent and to, take care of their expenses while they work on research projects for us. This is really exciting for us, and we're not starting grant applications right away at all. But we just wanted to let you know that a number of us are giving quite a significant portion of our reward tokens to the grant program, and we'll be announcing more about that. You'll learn about it in the community. I also want to talk about the design contest, which is coming up. The end of the deadline for the design contest is September 17th. That happens to be my birthday. That's how I could remember it, so I chose it. It's on Sunday in September. It's probably 3 Sundays from now. And you've got enough time because we're not asking people to design a full wallet. We're asking people to take a stab at it, to do a bit of prototyping, to get a bit of user testing, to build that little cycle of testing, and then to talk to us about their philosophy of how to design something from scratch that will be this big, that will eventually, we hope, replace Android and iOS. So if you're a designer, you're a front-end developer, you're a UX person, a UI person, please find some collaborators. And by the way, we have a whole design team set up in community.pillarproject.io where you can meet people, collaborate, and there's still time to put together. I think it takes about 2 weeks of work. So it's just about time for the last groups. We know that there are probably about a dozen teams working on this right now. We don't really know too much about them. So if you're on a team and you're planning to submit, please just come say hi in the design or in the contest team at community.pillarproject.io and just say that you've got a team and you're planning to do something. We don't want to see your work. I want it to be blind. I don't want to know who's doing what when we get these submissions coming in. I don't want names. I just want to see the work, and some of us will be judging and then announcing the winners probably by about the end of September. But listen, we have so much design work and so much front-end work and stuff to do for 2030 that anybody who's really putting effort into this, I'm sure you will get rewarded. We may not be able to give prizes to everybody, but when we see good work, we will reward it. We're not limited just to the prizes announced. You can learn more at pillarproject.io/contests. And right now, first prize is up to almost $20,000. And we've got a total of more than $30,000 worth of prizes available in the design contest and front-end contest right now. That could even go higher if Ether increases in price over the next 3 weeks. It's based in Ether. Now, anything else I need to mention? Yes, publications. Someone asked about, hey, why are you messing around writing a book on tokens when you should be getting this project together? Well, I think I'm doing a decent job getting all the legal aspects of the project together, which has been considerable. We have some amazing people working on this now. I've had to be in Switzerland for the last 3 weeks getting things together, and I took a little extra time to write a book. It's done. So I'm not spending any more time on the book. We're just doing some editing, and I'm asking you, people in the community who have design and publication skills now, to volunteer to see if you can help us publish the book. We've got some editing to do, but it's ready to go, chapters 1 and 2. 3 and 4 will come later, and they're going to be easy to write. So the bulk of the work is now done. And if you have editing, design, publication, maybe WordPress skills, we might make it a website, like a website and an ebook. That's kind of what I have in mind. We'd love you to jump into our community and raise your hand in the design, or where I've got something about the token book somewhere, might be in the design community, and we'll get a little publications team together. By the way, you know, this could lead to a lot more. We want to have a full communications team that can do quite a bit of publications, and we may have corporate clients who need communications and publication services. So again, this is a seed of something that could grow as the ecosystem emerges. Now I think we're gonna take some questions. Team, did I cover everything we need to cover? I think, yeah. So how can you help? That's the first question. How can I help? That's a really good question. And I think it's pretty clear. Come to pillarproject.io/community, register. And then from then on, after you're registered, you'll come to community.pillarproject.io and jump in. And don't ask, don't be told. We have no top-down command. We have no board of directors, no executives, no managers, no project managers. Just do what needs to be done. If you think something needs doing, then do it. If you want to collaborate and ask, please do. If you want to lead, lead. If you see an enormous opportunity in GDPR that we see, jump on that team and help us build a GDPR website that's part of the Wallet Lab to encourage other people to come in. We just have these burning needs. You're going to see them all over the place in our community. And I'm sure if you're excited about what we're doing, you'll find things to do there. Bring your skills and bring your learning, because it's about learning new things. So will the Pillar 1.0 wallet have 50 different cryptos and you can exchange them? Absolutely not. This is really hard to build a multi-chain, multi-currency wallet that can also see tokens. The very first wallet will see one currency, and we'll try to make it super easy so that you can't make a mistake, right? How many wallets do we all have where you really can make a mistake and it's impossible to even figure out what's going on and what you can do and what you can't, and you can really make serious mistakes with crypto wallets. So our goal is do it simple, keep it very simple. What you can do with the wallet, your grandmother should be able to do, and she should not be able to make a mistake. We've got a lot of things to manage private keys, to do multi-sigs, and to keep people safe, but we want to make sure that people are safe and it's easy. And that's why we need help from designers and from our community to make sure that when we ship something, it's solid and it's safe. Which OEMs are under consideration for the Pillar wallet? All of them. Any company that can see immediately that this is a huge win for them and they get rid of the liability of accounts and personal data and assets in their system, and they're no longer liable targets for attack, please contact us and help us build the system with us. Now, someone said, is this going to work with a PC and with a browser? Not initially. It's initially going to be mobile first. We're definitely looking for mobile developers, and it will be both platforms, iOS and Android. So people who have experience with these platforms, and we hope to keep rough parity going between these two platforms, so what we release goes out on both. We'll be doing sort of platform independent development and then splitting it off to the two platforms. Anyone who has good experience and enthusiasm is welcome to help us with that. Are we going to use existing open source code? How about not reinventing the wheel? Well, we actually, you know, I think Vitor has spent some time looking at quite a bit of wallet code. Why don't you tell us what you think about that?
We're definitely going to leverage is existing stuff. There's no need to create everything from scratch, and we're definitely going to take what there's out there and evaluate it. And we've done a lot of that in the last 2 weeks. I've read a lot of never read so many code in the last 2 weeks, and to evaluate what's out there, to take what we need, to package it in a way that's interesting for us and for the community, so we can start building this kernel for people to build other stuff on. We're definitely looking at other people's code. We're definitely looking at what's out there and making the choices for our own.
So that's what Wallet Lab is all about. right? I'm not asking Vitor to commit to which open source frameworks or code he's going to use. It's a discussion, and we're going to try some things. How about we'll try some experiments? And this is a lot of what Wallet Lab is about. We may have 3 or 4 things going in parallel. Great. Let's try some things and find what works, and then out of that, things may emerge. So really the goal is kind of diverge and try things, and then come back around together around things that look like they're working and promising, and just keep adding to what's working. Does that sound good, Vitor? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So when we kind of hope that, what we're looking for is really forward-thinking open source people who can say, yeah, Wallet Lab, sure, we've seen this before. You know what? You can do better. This is the way you do that. Or, here's some suggestions. Or here, let me show you. Let me build something for you. Let's get in here and do a next generation Wallet Lab so we don't repeat the mistakes of some other open source projects and we can use their learning. That's the kind of stuff we could really use right now. Wallet Lab's just an idea right now. Will there be a wallet this year, even in alpha? We didn't promise a wallet this year. I don't expect a wallet this year. We're going for 2 years from now to have, to be ahead of everybody else. And I know they'll have 2 years too. But we'll take it a step at a time, and we will ship a wallet in Q1 next year. There might be an alpha version this year. I don't know. I'm not promising. Is there a roadmap and release plan? Absolutely not. We're very agile. We're going to do a wallet. We're going to ship a wallet a week. And hey, you can check our GitHub repository, and we'll tweet about it. We'll let you know. We'll have a lot of information about what's going on down the center line of the core wallet. But we hope a lot of stuff will go in parallel, and there's no roadmap for that. Anybody, if we get a lot of people jumping in and building stuff, we can stub things off. We can create prototypes that just have their own, little fake code to get lots of testing done. Whatever we can do to move things forward, we want to. Let's see, decentralization and legal obligations within the project hurdles. We don't see too many legal issues right now with the wallet. Most of what we're dealing with right now is setting up the nonprofit aspects of it now, which we'll talk more about later after that's kind of settled, and then getting the tokens listed on one or more exchanges. That's right now in kind of a legal phase. But we will be talking about with open source lawyers that we have connections to, and we're open to any lawyers. Actually, we've had quite a few lawyers actually just help us because they like the project, and they've given us quite a bit of their time and really volunteered impressively. I'm not relying on lawyers to volunteer, but if lawyers see issues and we've got open source people who can contribute thought about how that and energy toward our licenses eventually, we're interested in that. We're just not spending any time on it right now. Have you thought about setting up nodes in your wallet? Yeah, we have, and no, we're not going to. This is a consumer product. It's meant to be lightweight and full blockchain nodes for 50 blockchains. We might not even run them ourselves on the servers. We don't know, but it's going to be a nice consumer-friendly wallet that your grandmother can use, and we're going to keep it simple and make it work really reliably. So that's the questions I've got from previous emails. Jack, how do you want to do this next? There must be some coming in. How many people, by the way, are watching now?
We're still about 120, 130 people all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
You read all the questions I pasted you in the document, so you're good with yourself. I'll say final minutes to ask your questions, guys. Of course, you can do this all the time in our community, so come and join. It's 24/7 Q&A AMA. So right now you see us on video, but you can chat with us anytime. And if you want to have your question answered by David now, just put it on chat, and I believe David will talk about something else for following 5 minutes while we're waiting for the questions.
There is one question. There is one question. It says, where are you going to post the full financial disclosures, salaries, etc., for all team members? It says.
Yeah, sure. So we're very open, and we'll be setting up back office. That one of the functions I mentioned already is reporting. And frankly, we have until the end of the year to get all of our ducks in a row and get our tax issues settled for everybody and all our reporting. And we need to hire the people to do that. We do have generalists at Central Services, but many of them are coming in from outside the UK with visas that will take us a few months to process. And we're very eager to put our Central Services team together to get that rolling, and reporting is one big part of that central service functionality. So we're looking forward to reporting, but you know, we couldn't report right now if we had to. Everything's on little spreadsheets all over the place, and people aren't even really getting paid regularly. We don't have payroll set up. Lots of things we don't have set up. We can't wait to get this all in pretty good functioning order, and it will happen when we're all together in one room, and we've got a couple more people that we don't have yet. Next question. Just to remind everybody in London, it's next Thursday, the 6th. Is it the 6th? 7th of September, Thursday next week at 6 p.m. at the Barrios Shoreditch. That's 141 Shoreditch High Street, and watch our newsletter for a reminder of that.
Another question I pasted says he's questioning Android and iOS.
Yeah, both. Yeah, we're going to develop in one of these neutral frameworks and go as far as we can before we have to split, so that the code bases and the feature sets are as close as possible. We have that's something we got to learn a lot about and figure out. I'm sorry, Micah. I have 5 more minutes. I'm really sorry. I can't help you. Okay, sorry about that. I have a 6-year-old who has a fever today, so he probably wants me to get him something. But his mom is here, so it's okay. So I just want to remind everybody else, Monday, if you care about the OEM wallet and GDPR, please, this is a SWAT team we're putting together. We really want to jump on this now. GDPR is coming up in, what, 7 months? In May next year, however many months that is. And it's time now. So that's going to be Monday. We're having a conversation like this. We want to hear from you. We want to see if you will bring your energy to this project. That's going to be Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. UK time. That's Wallet Lab and GDPR conversation. And you'll get the link to that on our newsletter over the next couple of days. Wallet Lab. We'll make t-shirts for Wallet Lab. I got to work on the logo. What's next? Oh, if anybody wants to build us a store, by the way, we have lots of ideas for Pillar products. Why shouldn't we have t-shirts, polo shirts, you know, track suits, mugs, I don't know, whatever else. Anybody? How about a little wallet? Hey, I'd like a Pillar wallet to carry my. You know what? Let's make one of these. Let's make a real Pillar wallet. And
like
see if people,
like a hardware wallet with some space for cash.
You know, and it can have the chip that corresponds to the one in your wrist, so you can never lose it. Your wrist will just guide you to it, or the one installed in your temple, or it'll have a Bluetooth that can make it so your phone can find it. My gosh, why don't we have a real Pillar wallet that corresponds to your Pillar wallet and just make it all work together? Holy cow! So you can have cards that are virtual and physical, and your IDs, and oh my gosh, this is another product. Now we're gonna have to your smart wallet. So anybody who wants to help us build a store online and manage inventory and take orders and turn that into a little profit center, please do that. We'd love that. Okay, last few questions, and then I've got to go take care of kids. Anything?
Yeah, there's one question if our SWAT team will chip all of the people. So I think it's time to end the live stream.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks team. I'll see you in London next week. We'll be there on Thursday. I'm really excited to come to London and to get everything set up. You'll hear much more from us probably in about 3 weeks it's going to be about 3 weeks before we make another one of these videos. But watch our newsletter, and we are working on the 2030 community as well. And at some point we will split off the 2030 newsletter. So choose your newsletters, and if you want to be on both, we'll tell you fairly soon to sign up for both. But right now they're duplicate, and we'll let you know. But we will have the 2030 community set up, we hope, in a couple of weeks. So there'll be more 2030 news coming separately. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to all the people here, all our token holders and supporters and future community members. It's time to go off to pillarproject.io/community and sign up, and we'll see you there. Thanks.
Look for link in chat and see you there. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.